Hey, this is Nancy. This is another, hey Zippy, this is another journal I'm working on, and this one is just something I'm playing in, and I used bits and pieces that I downloaded either for free or that I had printed off. Like I printed it on plain paper to try to see what it looked like, or I have the misprints, like where I printed it the wrong size, or where when I printed it two-sided, I printed one side upside down or something like that. And so this one, I made it entirely from junk mail and from papers that I either test printed or were misprinted. So this is what the back looks like. And I got things from Roxy Creations, Tracie, Fox, Gayle, Tsunami Rose, maybe the Graphics Fairy, an old bookshop, maybe Nick the Booksmith. These came from different places. And I used an old, this was an order envelope that I had where I used to sell Stampin' Up, and I had some order envelopes, and I used one of those. And in fact, in here I have a piece of artwork my daughter drew me that I thought was so cute, and so I just stuck that in there. But all of this in here is junk mail. So these were pieces of junk mail. This came in an order. I purchased a journal from Gayle and from Cinnamon Tea on Etsy, and this came in my order, so I glued it in here. These were just pieces of pages that I had left over. All of this was a misprint. Now this page I kind of decorated a little bit because I was playing with it. So this page is decorated a little bit, as I already said. So this is just pieces I collaged from vintage sheet music. This is just, and these cards came in mail. These were like where you get the discount cards or something in the mail. They came from the mail. This was a business envelope, reply mail envelope that came in the mail, and I just covered it with Gayle's one of her vintage envelope printouts, digitals. And this was came in the mail. It was an advertisement for something, and I made it into a tag and put a piece of lace and Sari silk that I had left over. These were like leftover pieces. So my aim on this book was to just use leftover pieces. There's a pocket here, and then there's a pocket here. That was the envelope, and it had a business window, but it was wrinkled up and it was messed up, so I covered it just because I was just playing around. This has got a little pocket right here, and then there's some more of the paper. I had printed it the wrong size, so I just put it in here. This was just some book pages, not book pages, a catalog. It was a sale catalog, and I glued some pages together and just made, put that in there, and I put some pieces on top. This was another one that I can't remember. I think I messed it up printing or something. These are all, like I said, just pieces that I had laying around. I just put them together. That's some of Gayle's trim, and this is just coffee dyed paper. This was something I got in the mail. It was like for food, like to order food or Green Chef or something like that. This was one of those sale catalog papers. This was some kind of card I got in the mail, and I just covered it. And I haven't decorated these yet. I thought I would just go through and add stuff. This was a pretty little tag that I got, and it says B on the bottom. A beautiful little tag, and it was wrapped around an order that I ordered from Etsy. And I think it was Sari silk. No, it was seam binding that I ordered, and I'll link below who it was from. But she sent this pretty little tag on top of this stuff, so I just paper clipped it in here, and I cut the threads because it was wrapped around my order, and I just thought it was so pretty that I put it in here, and I wanted to keep her information, so I've kept the tags. This is another page I printed too large, so I just stuck it in here. And all of this, all the base, is junk mail. So like this one, again, that was a piece of junk mail, and I covered it. I think this is Tsunami rose paper. But I just used pieces that I had left over. This came from Nick the Booksmith, and this is a recipe for homemade baking mix, and this was a free download from her. I believe it's on her webpage or something, and I printed it out and covered the piece of junk mail with that, and it's a recipe for fluffy biscuits and homemade baking mix, Nick the Booksmith, January 2019, and I covered, I believe this was the sale magazine pages again. This was, as you can tell, this was like from one of those food delivery, and I just things, and I put the little card in there and covered it. Again, another piece of junk mail. This is Gayle's eco-dyed prints. I think I printed it on regular computer paper first right here, and then I printed it on photo paper later to use, and I just used the plain paper one in this book because again, this is covering. This, I think, is, I kind of need to glue it down there again, but those are just sale papers under there from like for clothing or something that I got in the mail. This is another one that I covered with the eco-dyed papers, and I put one this way and the other that way, and I thought that was pretty. And then this was like a little ad or something, and I just covered it with coffee dyed paper, and then I made it a little pocket, and I put some doily there and some pieces that I had left over from other things. This is another one of Gayle's eco-dyed papers. And then I thought this was cute. This was an envelope where I received an invitation to a baby shower, and I just stuck it in here, and then I covered the flap. And this was a business envelope that was torn at the top, so I cut off the top, and I put some of Gayle's trim all around it to decorate it. Then I made this from Gayle's eco-dyed paper, sewed around it with gold metallic thread, and then it has sari silk and leftover muslin, or that may be cotton flour sack stuff, and then coffee dyed paper. And I've just been having fun playing in this and sticking things in it that I want to keep. Excuse me. There's my baby shower invitation. I kept it because I wanted to keep it. So, this is, I was trying to play with making, I saw someone, can't remember who, may have been, I'm not sure who it was, I'll have to try to remember, made one of these covered paper clips that you cover it, I mean, it's hidden up inside there. There's like a piece of coffee dyed paper in between the paper clip and the outside decorated piece. You can see it up there. so you can hang a charm from the top. And I just decorated that up just as a kind of an idea to keep in here for something to do another time. I covered up a little tear in the envelope, and then I put a little piece here that I had left over from something I printed out. And this little paper clip just slides over the top, and it doesn't catch because it's covered. So this is one of Gayle's envelopes, and I think I had printed it on regular copy paper, so I put it in here. Some of Gayle's trim, a butterfly I got from one of my printouts. This is just the stamp that came on this envelope that I kept, that came in the mail. This is, again, I think that's some of that's clothing sale paper that came in the mail. This was another card that I covered with writing paper. This was some kind of ad that came in the mail, and it flipped out like this. So I had fun putting these pockets from Gayle's digitals, these envelopes, and I don't remember where this one came from. But I glued that on, and I haven't decorated them or anything. I just glued them on for now. I may decorate them later. It's just, this is just a book for me to play in. This is another one of the book pages, the magazine pages. Some of them I made, yeah, this one's a pocket, so something could go up in there. And this has the Courting of Lady Jane. I got this from Tsunami Rose, and I had misprinted it. I printed the wrong thing, something upside down on the other side, so I've glued that in. Because it was my own challenge to myself to use bits and pieces, or misprinted pieces, or pieces that I wanted on cardstock instead of on my test print of the regular computer paper. And I used only junk mail for the base, for the whole cover and everything. So this one, I don't remember where this paper came from, but again, it's on junk mail. And this was some music that I printed out, and it had this Creative Commons, I think it's called Creative Commons. It had this mark on it, so I just put it in here. This is another piece of junk mail, and I had all these tabs where I had bought these little dies for tabs, and I was just trying them out, so I put those in there. I believe this is Gayle's doilies, one of her digitals. This is another one where I printed it too big, but I love the way they turned out for this. It's just kind of everybody all thrown together, and it's not even decorated yet. It's just something I'm going to decorate and play with as I go. Maybe put ideas in here. But I liked the fact that I was using my junk mail that I just gathered. It just took me a few days to gather it. Here's one where I received a card in the mail. They're wanting me to buy a wine. But, so I just cut out the part that had the half full or half empty. There's always room for more wine. I just cut it out around there into a tag shape, added this little tab, and then covered the back with coffee dyed paper and just pieces of book paper and colored paper, you know, printed digital paper. And I thought, there's a little tag, and I could decorate it more later if I want to. This is another fold out. This may be Ephemera's Vintage Garden, this printout. I don't remember, but this is another piece of junk mail, and I just covered it with pieces that I had. And there's another one. And then there's the back pocket. This was a big envelope. And this is another picture my daughter drew me. So I just have it stuck in there. And I just thought, again, I thought I would put, you know, keepsakes in here, you know, play with pages, try different things, and, you know, just play with it as I go, put ideas here and things I want to keep. And I just love the old-timey looking look of this cover. And I can't remember which lady I downloaded this from, but it's one signature, and it's 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and then I just put the cover on top, and I just love it. It just feels good in my hands, and it's just fun to play in it. So I just thought I would share that, and I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks for watching.